What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Underground STRS Season 3. And today I'm here with...
NoLyrix, producer, cameraman, coming out of the Bay Area, California. What's up,
Ooh,
man?
cameraman. You do visuals? And what kind of... Did you start doing music first or like videography first?
Definitely music. I just picked up the camera like last year during the quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been making
Mm-hmm.
beats here for about 4 years, seriously. Probably about 2017 I started that.
And is that kind of... Have you been focusing a lot more on that during this whole quarantine and everything?
Heck yeah, dude. I've dropped about 5 albums just last year, which is a huge increase of my
Jeez,
output.
yeah.
Previous year, I think I dropped one. So
Is that like 5 albums that you've like fully produced yourself?
yeah, fully produced, fully engineered, all in house. So
Jeez.
super sick.
And like with different artists and everything, or was it like with one kind of certain artist?
One was with a certain, and then he did a collab with another artist, so that's two.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other three were just separate artists as well.
Dang.
But yeah, I got those all on my website if anyone wants to check those out.
That is
Those
crazy.
all on there, yeah.
Yeah, because right now it's what, June? That's 5 and 6 months.
Well, that was last year, 2020. This
Oh,
year,
yeah.
I
Okay. Yeah.
have shoot, it's honestly going to be what you just said. I have three out
Yeah.
already, and then two more coming out within the next 2 weeks. So
Dang.
matched it last year's output right out the gate.
Yeah, that's how
Lots
you
of
do it.
people
And how
excited
did you,
me.
how did like those kind of come to be? Did you like approach the artist like, yo, I like your work. Let's like work on an EP or something like that?
Pretty much that, and just forming that connection. I mean, the real key is having your own studio.
Mm-hmm.
That is just obviously people will always pull up on you if that's the case. That's how all those albums were made, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a spot for people to come vibe out, chill, cook up, and before you know
Mm-hmm.
it, these tapes were just pouring out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what kind of do you think is the best approach for like other producers who are wanting trying to kind of start those relationships? What do you think their best approach of doing that is?
Social media is a huge one, obviously. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I'm here today. That's probably how we met. That's how you met a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
In person, I know it's hard for a lot due to area restrictions, but that has been a huge key to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to go to another city to meet said people, do
Yeah.
it if you have the means to do so.
And I mean, in per- in person, I feel it's like a whole lot harder just because, like you said, you might have to go different cities,
For sure.
and it's just it's kind of weird going to like a whole different city, not knowing anybody, and scouting out smaller artists, smaller producers to work with.
Yeah, that's where the social media comes in. You'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to plant your seeds before you head out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hashtags, looking down people's followers in certain areas, you'll find a cool accumulation of artists that are going just as hard as we are at it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's I feel like this is always a topic that we cover, but it's just the whole power of social media making those connections is just crazy.
It comes up time and time for a reason, for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable. Everything is literally on the internet nowadays, so
Mm-hmm.
use it to your advantage. If you don't, you're just asleep, honestly, at this point.
Exactly. I don't know, because I've seen so many like talented artists, talented producers who have like a few thousand followers, but then they just disappear for like a month or two, and they come back and they have no activity on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't know why no one's like responding. I don't know why, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I not like making good music anymore? But like the music there's fine, everything's good. It's just like whenever you leave for like even like a few days, people will forget about you.
Man, we're all a victim of that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go a week sometimes, and messes up the whole algorithm when it comes to story views, post likes,
Mm-hmm.
all that. It's all intertwined. So, gotta stay on top of that for sure.
Yeah. And is there like one certain platform that you focus on the most right now, or is it just kind of whichever one?
Yeah, pretty much Instagram, Discord. I'm
And
pretty active in a
hmm
few servers on here. Very lightly on Twitter, but pretty tight on there as well.
hmm I've been trying to. I set up. I have it right here. I set up this schedule for posting.
Oh,
I
word.
sat I sat down yesterday and just mapped out like the three different accounts that I have. I'm like, all right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these go. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, these go. Just
Okay,
so I can start this in like 2 weeks. So I have like a whole week to kind of like have everything pre-planned, have everything scheduled to post and everything.
for
And
sure, man. Obviously.
it's helped so much, even though I haven't done it yet. But it just makes it feel less stressful
Yeah, definitely. You kind of just
because,
put me on game real quick. I've seen stuff
yeah.
like that, but seeing it firsthand is really cool. I'm like, damn, okay.
Because the only like social media that I truly enjoy using is Twitter, just because it's so much more personal than all the rest.
For sure.
So it's like I don't have to like have certain things on here or make sure this kind of goes right or what post what goes to what. Because on Twitter I can just tweet out a sentence or whatever I'm feeling at the time, and it'll
Yeah,
get some engagement no matter what.
for sure, for sure.
So like these other ones have been just stressing me out, but now that I have them written down, it's like all right, I have a guide that I can follow from now on. So I don't have to start being like, oh, I need to post right now. Or, oh, I should post in like an hour or two. So it's
Yeah,
been really useful.
it's pretty much like homework at that point. Like a set
Mm
schedule, you can't really tweak it.
hmm. Mm hmm. And I mean, if certain days don't perform as well, always can adjust and everything like that too. So
Yeah,
yep, we'll see. I might have to do a month after videos being like, yeah, this worked, this didn't work. See how it is.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But talking about videography, do you think that's helped you kind of gain more exposure with different artists that you kind of then turned into like a producer artist relationship at all?
So far, no, because it's always
Mm-hmm.
been in the reverse order. Us already having this music made for the like we've been working together for years. The people that
Mm-hmm.
I've started working on videos with, but I can definitely see it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something like what you just said, just
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, I do both. Tap in, and we could definitely get something going because
Yeah.
that's pretty rare for those two specific things. A lot of people do multiple things, but I haven't found
Mm-hmm.
too many people with those two specific lanes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which I mean, realistically, that's kind of like the perfect set because you can make like a whole EP with like a artist and be like, all right, let's make these videos right now. Just
yeah,
because you have there's certain songs that you made with them and now you're making the videos together as well, so it makes them even more kind of like sentimental, but also the workflow itself just speeds up a whole lot faster.
definitely, definitely. It's been super sick. You'll probably be seeing these videos I'm talking about here in the next couple months. And we actually have a couple trips down to LA planned.
Ooh,
We have a movie studio booked. So it's
really?
gonna take these videos to the next level. Yeah, it's
That
gonna be
is,
super
yeah.
sick. There's about 8 sets in this warehouse. We're gonna knock out about 5 videos over the week.
Dang,
You
that is
know,
crazy. How did that kind of like all come together?
in terms of that booking or just the
Mm-hmm.
actual. My homie actually opened it, so
Oh, really?
yeah, but he has it as a public booking too. It's not like some
Okay.
club or anything. But yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
found out about it.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm super juiced about that.
Yeah, those videos are about to go just a whole new level.
Yeah, for real.
I think visuals, like album trailers, music videos, stuff like that, I feel like that is one of the most important but also underlooked sets of just kind of music in general.
Yeah, it's because it's so
Like,
expensive. Like, oh,
yeah,
sorry, no.
but like it can transform that body of work into something completely different.
Yes, yes. But the level of entry is a bit high right now, just because like if you approach a videographer like right off Instagram, he's gonna quote you at like $600 to $800 for one video,
Mhm.
which really doesn't make any sense for a starting artist because how on earth are they ever going to recoup that amount on
Mhm.
one track?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why people just kind of cancel out the idea of videos because they might think that they can't get one.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the bridge I'm trying to build between like an underground artist and the
Mhm.
industry is maybe me taking it into my hands to get this
Yeah.
professional visual done for our tracks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a road, but shoot, it's been super fun. I've been loving
Mhm.
every second of it. So sign me up for whatever.
In a way, it's like filming your own kind of documentary based off like just kind of anything you've made so far.
Literally, yeah. And then you have all these B takes and all the out rolls.
Mhm.
Like, dude, it's so cool. I keep all my clips for sure.
Yeah. Like it's what was the song? Mr. Age. When that came out, I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was that big of a like cool of a song, but then when the music video came out, it made me look at the song a whole different way just
Yeah.
because I listened to it and I saw like the music video in itself too. I'm like, okay, now this makes sense together.
Just exploding random stuff and just
Mhm.
raging. Man, for
Exactly.
sure.
But that's pretty. I've always wanted to do like some visual stuff. I just haven't kind of gotten the time or putting the time into doing it yet. I want to. That's something I really want to do kind of later down the line, just kind of like as an extra side kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it's always been super super interesting to me.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's as vast as music, to be honest,
Mhm.
in terms of like the little intricate, specific things about it, such as like the lighting and the angles. Like, it's just endless. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Lots of
Yeah.
lots of learning though, for sure.
So, how did you kind of start getting into music and starting making music and all of that?
Um, I feel kind of bad saying this, but do you know what the Pirate Bay is? It's like where you download all this illegal stuff,
Mhm.
like movies and
Mhm.
stuff. I was I was super into computers before music, so I was just browsing this website. So I went to the Windows program section, and they had FL on there, along with Photoshop, Premiere, and I
Mhm.
just freaking downloaded all of them. And just for the small fact of like getting these expensive programs for free, I didn't even care about
Mhm.
like what they did. And
Yeah.
then once I laid down that like two-step hat with the clap, I was sold. Like with the stock sounds, I was just like, hey,
Uh-huh.
this goes crazy. Like I'm in this. And yeah, it was, dude, it was so fun. So kept at it. Started caring less and less about other things, more and more about
Mhm.
music. And I just noticed that trend. So followed with it. Here we are.
Yeah. That's funny. That's I feel like who like whenever someone starts making a beat, it's cool and all, like the melody, but when you put that two-step hi-hat in that clap, that's like where it just changes everything. You're like, all right,
Man,
this is sick. This
and
is
I did
cool.
that first. I didn't even have the melody done. I was like, heck yeah, dude. It's a game changer for sure.
Mhm.
And it had the techno
And
clap too with all the reverb.
mhm. That's that's funny. That's like I've always like no matter what. I feel bad for saying this too, but like every program that I want to like get, I always see if I can find like a free download version of it.
Yeah, we all do
Hmm.
it.
But I feel like those are just so nice. Like, yeah, it's because it's free, but it's also because it's like gives access to literally anybody to be able to use it.
Yes, for sure.
So like it doesn't limit you if you don't have enough money to buy the basic version of FL or Ableton.
Mhm.
But if it gives you like the opportunity, like, oh, I can make music in a nor in like a professional DAW for free.
Exactly.
And I just think that's it. Well, yeah, it's not ethical, but at the same time, it's great just for anybody ever to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and if these people like actually make a career out of it, they'll for sure come full circle and copy the
Mm-hmm.
program, generally
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
So I think it's there for a reason for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you use FL, right?
I started on FL, but I actually use Ableton now. Yeah,
Really?
I haven't really turned back. Yeah, I know it's a
What's
little easier, but
what's your preference?
over
Or
those
like
two.
what? Yeah, like what do you? Which one do you? What do you think has like the best and like the worst of each one?
I mean, Ableton is goaded for sure. I haven't opened FL since 2018, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know where they're at in terms of features nowadays. But
Mm-hmm.
once I just warped a sample for the first time in Ableton and like was able to affect all the little things just right within the same screen, I was sold. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
the workflow is so seamless.
Yeah.
In
I
FL, you have to kind of like, oh my bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, go ahead.
Like the mixer, you have to like route them all yourself and keep track of
Mm-hmm.
all that. I mean, it's cool, but I feel like it's kind of gimmicky. Like you should be able to just drag the effect on the sound. We're not
Yeah.
actually in the studio, but
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. I mean, dude, all the programs do the same stuff for sure.
Yeah. I remember I used the first time I used Ableton was about 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was gonna be like the hardest thing ever, just because it looks super like just different from all the other ones, and it was with Pseudo, and he laid down the melody or whatever, and I was gonna do the drums, and it was super easy to use. Like the first time ever like seeing it in person, first time ever using it, and the learning curve wasn't hard at all.
There's no learning curve. It's
Yeah,
literally drag and drop. That's why I like it a lot.
yeah, and it's so like you're able to adjust the MIDI grid to like triplets or whatever,
Yeah,
and like it's so nice just having that kind of like you said you can do it all on one screen.
exactly. A lot of people get confused when they open it and it shows all those mixer tracks and all that. And I don't
Mhm.
even understand that, to be honest. But the second that I hit tab and just entered that other view,
Mhm.
I mean, it's just so easy from that point. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's just drag and drop.
I've always wanted to cuz I use Logic, and so I've always wanting to either figure out how to use FL like really well or either Ableton really well. But I just every time I open one of them and like try and do it, I'm like, I don't want to do this because in the like hour or two that I take to kind of get used to everything, I could have made 3 or 4 beats by then.
That's my mindset too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start delving back into FL just because I'm not ignorant to the fact that 70 to 80% of people use it. And I want to be a part of studio cookups and all
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff without being like, oh, I need to use my Ableton over here. I'll send you loops, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of want to be able to hop on. So I'm going to start probably using both equally, as hard as
Yeah.
that's going to be because I love Ableton. But I think FL is the wave of the industry right now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my personal stuff, I'll always use Ableton.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you said, like we had this huge trip about 2 weeks ago. There was like 14 producers, and every single one except for me, Pseudo, and one more used something other than FL. But everybody there knew somewhat how to use FL in like some way. So it's like if somebody was at one setup making like a melody or something, anybody could be like, "Yo, let me do the drums," or they could be like, "Yo, let me do the melody real fast and you do the drums." So it's like not. It's super convenient just knowing the basics of pretty much any DAW, just so you can if something like that happens, like you said, you don't get left out of any like the cookups, any studio sessions, just because you're not wanting to use a different system or anything.
Definitely, definitely.
But I think my favorite out of the three, just kind of workflow wise, I want to say probably Ableton, just because it's like I obviously it would be Logic just because I use that, but if I had to non-biasly choose, it'd probably be Ableton.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But I'm biased as heck for sure.
Just the one thing I wish was the that like all the shortcuts and everything were the same for every single one.
Yeah, the Pro Tools ones are just so different than everything. Like they
Hmm.
have their own set of everything.
Yeah,
So ridiculous.
I
But
think
I agree.
I like Logic's shortcuts the best, just because it makes sense. Like to duplicate in FL, I want to say it's like Command B, but like on Logic, it's Command D for duplicate.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
repeat like certain things, it's Command R. To cut, it's Command like T, I think, or whatever. To trim, so like it makes sense like what letters go with what words. But like on FL, none of those things make sense except for copy and paste.
Yeah. And paste doesn't even really make sense, isn't it B? But that's just
Mm-hmm.
like the original. Everyone has that.
Yeah,
I
that's I don't know what I don't know if Command P is even a thing.
don't think so, to be honest. I know Control P is print, but we don't use
Mm-hmm.
that.
No,
Heck
at least I hope not. If someone's making beats, printing stuff,
no. Just print the
that's like
piano roll, be like, hey, this melody I made earlier.
they're gonna print it out and fax it out. Just the whole the melody, just the picture of the MIDI. That's it.
Literally. Like, oh, that slaps, dude. Yeah.
But oh, I forgot what was I gonna say. Yeah, I mean, I just think in general, it's just good to have basic knowledge of, honestly, probably Ableton, FL, and maybe a little bit of Pro Tools.
It's pretty
Just because those
mandatory.
three, yeah, those three seem to be just kind of what everybody overall uses.
Exactly.
I remember I used Pro Tools for school at one point, and I was so lost.
It's
I was
rough.
so lost.
It's rough at the beginning for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, once you get flying through it, it's super cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
But my brain cannot switch, like, which hotkeys I'm using between programs. I'm just not hip with that yet.
Yeah. I was making a beat with like Zero the a few weeks back, and I'm like, yo, how do I do this? What's the command for this? Or like, how do I move this over? How do I like make this do this? And he's like, bro, just move. Let me do it for you real fast. I
Save
was like,
everybody some
jeez.
time.
Mm-hmm. I was like, please don't think I'm stupid. I just don't use this.
For real. Mm.
But it's it's funny though. It's funny seeing how different people react to what certain programs people use.
People will really get heated. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't care. I know it's just like a big joke. I don't think they're actually mad, but
Mm-hmm.
people will really throw some shade over program.
Yeah. But I mean, what? Because I'm guessing most of the songs that you produce is mainly trap and all that. Do you think, or have you been kind of like experimenting different genres at all?
I've made so much different stuff. I've made
Mm-hmm.
indie, country, like pop, rap,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much everything. I have that might actually be my actual like um thing, what's it called? Not redeeming quality, but like main quality is just
Mm-hmm. Your
diversity with
I know the word you're trying to
yeah,
say. If I
I cannot remember.
um oh,
Dude,
it's gonna annoy me the rest of the time.
but my that is
Mm-hmm.
probably my diversity of beats. Like
Yeah.
someone could
And
just
what's your favorite?
rap, hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I love just making
Yeah.
just heavy 808s, trap music. That's always the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, once you get a cool sounding indie song and you're like, dang, I could see this maybe on the radio, that kind of like changes your whole mindset about things, which
Mm-hmm.
makes that lane just as fun as the stuff that gets people hyped up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all just part of the journey, dabbling into these different lanes. I know I could probably take off faster going one lane, but screw it. This is
Yeah.
my way, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like definitely knowing just kind of how to make at least one type of like each genre is definitely a good thing, just because not only do you not get like, if someone's like, hey, I make music, I heard you produce, can you do like punk, and you only do trap, that's gonna like cut off certain situations, certain opportunities that you have. But if you know people who have like punk loops, and you have certain drums that you know how to do, then you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just a formula. Like you could use however many pieces you need to
Mhm.
get that final product, but we have all the resources right here for sure.
Mhm. And what do you think is like going into making like a new genre? Which one do you think was the hardest for you to start?
Probably like EDM, like electronic
Mhm.
dance music, just because there's so many different types of it, and they all have different set of rules and theories, and it's just a wild thing to delve into.
Mhm.
But it's super fun. It's very processing heavy, so that was pretty new to me because hip hop, you
Mhm.
just toss a couple things and call it a day. EDM, your chain will literally have like 40 plugins, all chained to each other, doing different side chaining, all this crazy stuff.
Mhm.
So that was probably the most difficult to delve into, but probably the most rewarding too, because that realm is what got me into doing live shows. Sorry,
Mhm.
live shows in front of actual audiences because they were coming out to see that type of music. So
Yeah.
I really wanted to delve into that lane and be a part of that.
And have you done any live shows recently?
Not since before the quarantine. Everything is super, super backed up. Even the smallest of venues have big artists booked right now, so it's
Mhm.
kind of ridiculous trying to get a show,
Jeez.
especially here
Yeah.
in California. Um, but I'm itching to get back out there for sure.
Mhm.
Hopefully this year, that'd be super sick. I haven't played a show since like December 2019,
Yeah.
which just kills me. But get back out there. Shoot, there was a dang
Mm.
global pandemic that hopped in the way, so I can't get back
Yeah.
at that. Shoot,
That's crazy how it's been, what, a year almost?
over.
Over a year, yeah. And
What a
it
time,
feels like it just happened yesterday too,
honestly. Yeah,
which is crazy.
time is flying
Hmm.
for sure.
I mean, I remember getting like that call like, "Hey, spring breaks extended a whole week." And we're like, "All right, cool." And the next thing we know is like, "Hey, there's no more school, but you got to do it online." And we're like, "All right, that's fine." But then if just kept on going for like the whole next year. It's like you
Yeah,
can't go outside. We got to like wear masks everywhere. We can't do certain things. These shows are canceled. And it's like, okay, what's kind of going on?
it's so ridiculous. But
Mhm.
finally, see the end of all this.
Mhm.
Finally, shoot, I could just say that as of like last week. Um, I think California opens back up June 15th. I don't know about everybody else,
Yeah.
but that's right around the corner. Bunch of
Mhm.
shows coming up. I'm just trying to get my part in that.
Yeah. But I think also this quarantine, if you used it right, then it was definitely a great thing for you.
Yeah,
Like if you made like if you sat down and like just worked every time, every day, then you definitely made the most out of it.
yeah. It's like, dude, I don't know what your situation was like, but I was
Mhm.
getting paid just to chill. So, I mean, that's a given right there. You get paid full
Mhm.
time just to chill at the studio and make beats all day. You'd kind of be, I don't want to offend anybody, but dumb to not take advantage of that situation. Regardless of,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that because everyone has their monetary struggles. I don't know how the pandemic
Mhm.
affected everybody, but all I know is it gave me a whole bunch of time to get things in order.
Definitely interesting, but I feel like as soon as we're kind of past this all, we're gonna look back and be like, wow, that was just kind of it shaped it. I know for sure certain people will be like, that kind of whole year definitely made me level up or shaped me into something that I didn't know I could be.
Yes, I can fully agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you have so much time on your hands, you don't really know what's to come of that. I've always had the camera, but having all this time made me want to go out there more and more and
Mm-hmm.
shoot. So I would not have done that. Or I might
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit, but
But
not,
not to the extent that you have.
yeah, like dude,
Mm-hmm.
full days to myself and still getting paid. That was a game
It's
changer,
crazy.
sure.
Oh yeah. So, let's see. Do you have anything else you want to mention before we roll into this outro part?
I mean, shoot, I don't want to be too much of a plugger, but I have two more albums coming out in the next couple weeks. NoLyrix.com, I keep that pretty thoroughly updated with all the fresh
Mm-hmm.
drops and whatnot. And yeah, that's about it for the plugs.
All right. So the way we end these is I got 3 questions. Super easy, super simple. And the first one is, in 2 words, describe your style.
Mm, unique, diverse. Those might mean the same thing, but still rock with it.
And then the next one is, if you could re-listen to a project for the first time ever, which one would it be?
Dang. Definitely Man on the Moon 2 by Kid
Mm-hmm.
Cudi. Just because that's such a crazy journey of different sonics, so many different sounds on that album. And I've listened to it so many times that I know what's going to happen next now. I would love to
Mm-hmm.
listen to that. That'd be
Yeah.
so sick.
It's like like rewatching a movie for like the 20th time. You know what's going on, but you still love it.
Yeah, I could listen to that endlessly, but that first time over would be so sick.
Mm-hmm. And then the third one is, what advice do you have for other up and coming artists or producers?
Um, Honestly, drop music. Just put it out. Get with whatever artists you can get with,
Mm-hmm.
and just put out music. Even if you don't think it sounds like how the industry sounds, blah blah blah. Those fools are working on like thousands and thousands of dollars of gear, so you can't really match yourself to them. So just put out what you have, and just keep hammering away at it. Someone's gonna hear it,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll get you where you need to be after that. But don't try too hard to perfect it.
Perfect. And I'm going to be sending over one of these season 3
Oh,
Underground
word.
Stars sticker.
Oh, dude, thank you.
Of course, I love these. I say this every time that I tell someone I'm going to send it over, but I love these. These are
That's
probably
just
my favorite ones so far.
super fire.
But no, thank you, man. This was fun.
For sure. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Make sure y'all go follow everything. It's you have the same at across everything, right?
Yeah, at No Lyrics on Instagram. I think my Twitter has an underscore between the two words.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But everything's gonna be
nolyrics.com.
linked just below, so
Tight, tight.
make sure to go check out his next projects coming out soon. And Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Do you have YouTube?
I do, yeah. I'll be having a bunch of videos on there this year. That's No Lyrics as well. So,
Perfect. So all that's gonna
they're
be
on
down
there.
below. And again, man, thank you. It was fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Later.